Hey, welcome to Charlie's Open Mic. On today's show, we're going to meet with a musician who meditates with bears.
My name is Charlie Mosbrook. If you're looking for a place to discover new music with interviews and live performances from different songwriters each week, welcome to Charlie's Open Mic.
If you enjoy this content, please hit the subscribe button down below. That'll help us grow. Let me please introduce to you a wonderful songwriter, a great humanitarian. His name is Zach.
I believe in love, even when it's dark, even when my heart feels it's had enough. I believe in us, even when I hear the words we say, even when I see the looks we make. Season to put down all that divides. What a season to pick up on how we are alike. Build bridges and make time. 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 I believe we're here to lift each other up, even when I fear I am not enough. I believe it's clear, even when we just don't want to see, even when we just want it to be easy. Season to put down all that divides. What a season to pick up on how we are alike. Build bridges and make time. 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 Gift than who you are. What better gift than time with your heart? What better gift than to embrace everyone, even your pain? I believe in love, even when it's dark, even when my heart feels it's had enough. I believe in us, even when I see what we do. I believe, 'cause I know the real you. And it's the season to put down all that divides. What a season to pick up on how we are alike. Well, it's the season to put down all that has died. What a season to pick up on being alive. Build bridges and make time. Build bridges and make time. Build bridges and make time. Build bridges and make time.
That was a wonderful song by Zach, and we have him right here. We're going to ask him a few questions. Hey, why don't you tell us a little bit about that song? What was that called?
That was Bridges in Time.
And that has been recorded. It's available now for everybody to listen to online.
Yes, it's available everywhere online, wherever you find your music there.
And we have supplied you with links, both on screen and then down in the comment section. One thing I got caught up in while listening to the recording of that prior to your appearance here was all the other voices that I heard in the song. You want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, as when I was writing that song, it kind of the song wanted to be more than just my voice. The song really felt like it needed to be something that the community was a bit more involved in. So as soon as I finished it, I called up a few friends to see if they would like to be a part of recording it. And I've done a lot of work recently with Gretchen Plus, who's an amazing singer-songwriter, and she produced and was part of my last full record, Shyla. And so I instantly I just could hear her voice all over it. And we recorded it at the Rialto Theater in Akron, and the folks that run that, Nate and Seth Vale, and they're in a band named Ashes, so I wanted them to be a part of it. I've been looking for an opportunity for my friend Mark Lee Shannon to be a part of something that I've been doing, and this was just the perfect example for it. And we also brought in on bass Matthew DeRobertis, who I've worked with on Shyla and many other projects around as well. And so it was a wonderful opportunity to have different voices, and just, again, it was more than just a me thing, you know.
And this isn't the first time you've collaborated with other artists.
No, I love collaborating.
You do love collaborating. In fact, I think it was Martin Luther King Day of a bunch of years ago. There was a big snowstorm, and you came over, not to this place, but where my old studio was, and we recorded a song together for a record that you put together called Provenance. And that was, talk about building bridges. Tell us more about that record. That was really cool.
Yeah, so that was a record. I think there was 15 or 16 songwriters that I knew. Most of them are Northeast Ohio ties, but a few were folks that I've met on the road. And I really wanted to do something that was collaborative, and I wanted it to be, I didn't want to just do like a duets thing where I wrote a whole bunch of songs and then had people sing parts on them. I really wanted to push myself a bit and you know, really get to know people a little bit better. And so the idea behind that was that every songwriter, we would sit down and write a song, and then we would record it in some sort of duet version. It's still something that I'm really fond of. It was really special.
It was a lot of fun to be a part of. In fact, a couple weeks ago we had J. Scott Franklin on the show, and in the middle of the interview he talked about his progression as a guitarist, and I sat back and I said, "There's always more to learn," which was the title of the song that Zach and I wrote together for that record.
Yes.
And immediately I thought of the record as I said that. But it was really just a fantastic exercise in building bridges throughout the community. And then you had a big concert as the release for that, where you were able to pull in an awful lot of other musicians who were on that record. So in addition to building bridges with your fellow musicians, I wanted to ask you about, and I brought this up earlier, there were some images that, and I don't know if I remember this correctly, that I saw online of you doing yoga or meditating with bears?
Yeah, I do a lot of meditation and yoga, just generally in my daily life, and I lead some of it, and we have some organizations that I've been a part of to help cultivate that in the community. And I love nature, and I hike a lot and travel a lot, and I think that there's something with bears that connects with me in some way or another, and so I find myself around them a little bit. I mean, I'm not out seeking to sit down next to a bear very often, but they do sort of show up
that's
now and again, and so I've not meditated like with them, like right there, but we've been close to each other, I guess.
That's neat. I adore bears. And when I got married, actually, and the conversation of the ring bear came up, I got really excited thinking that we would actually have a bear in the ceremony, but that idea was quickly extinguished. Nobody else thought that was as good an idea as I did. So we did not go with the ring bear. But what a lot of fun, and that you have the kind of presence when you're out in nature that these animals do feel comfortable approaching you to a certain degree. I mean, I'm sure there's a certain amount of distance that we all think is important to keep from bears, because
boundaries are very important.
Boundaries are very important. Another project that you've done over the years, and I don't believe you're doing it currently, it's on sort of a hiatus, but it's a project called Big Love Fest. And I've read a lot about this. Tell us a little bit about your Big Love Fest and what you've put together with that.
Sure. So about maybe 12 years ago or so, I started a little organization called the Akron Peace Project to cultivate peace and nonviolence in ourselves, our homes, and our community. And so we would do a number of events throughout the year and a lot of trainings and things. And out of that grew this idea of really trying to bring the community together and celebrate the community. So we came up with this idea of a Big Love Fest to really highlight, very arts driven, but it highlights the community and brings in people. Our whole goal with everything that we were doing was to find a way that it could really be a collaborative effort, so that it's not just one organization puts something on and those are the musicians. They perform on stage and that's it. And here's the vendor and they just do that. And like here's the food and they just do that. And it was more of like, what could we all do in this space, and try to bring in as many different aspects of the community and say, well, what could you do in this space? So instead of just being a musician on stage, like what could you do to bring something extra to the day or to this event, or in theory, to this community. And so a lot of it was trying to highlight what people were already doing. A lot of it was trying to focus on how the arts can be, can play a positive role in the community for change and for equality and uplift. And so we did 5 years of that festival, and it grew pretty large, and it was meant to be an indoor festival right in the heart of Akron. And it was Akron-centric, but it was Northeast Ohio focused. Again, it's hard to talk about community and have like people from outside the community kind of be in there. So
we're all part of the same community.
We are. True.
We breathe the same air.
That's a true story. So we did that for about 5 years, and it everything has its cycle, and it's on a hiatus at the moment. But we do a full organization sort of developed out of it called the Big Love Network. And we do an awful lot of things around the community, a lot based in sustainability, environmental health, and sustainability are a big facet of what we do. But we're very much using the arts as tools for those changes and conversations to happen. And we've gotten to do a lot of decent and cool things and a lot of projects that have been a lot of fun to work on.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for doing all of that. Obviously, if you've been following the show, we look at different ways that the musicians in our community contribute to our communities. And Zach has made a huge contribution throughout the years in so many different ways. Where can we find you on the internet?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
So my main site is zachmusic.net, zachmusic.net. And there's a lot of links on there to other places you can find me, but I'm on Facebook and Instagram, Zach Brightlights, and anywhere that you find music, you can pretty much find me.
Okay. A number of years ago, when I had my spinal cord injury, my community, or our community around here, came together to support me through that, and a lot of those specifically financial issues, but also just to provide me with the sense that I did have a community support. And they made this record. It's called Coverage, and we're going to gift this to you today, because that's what we do.
Thank you
and
so much.
That features some really talented people from around the area.
Wonderful.
Anyway,
I
enjoy
treasure
that.
This. Thank you so
Cool.
much.
You bet. It's a beautiful record. From the get-go, Hal Walker starts. They're all my songs, and they perform the songs, and Hal Walker starts, and I almost started crying the minute. I did start crying the minute he started singing. It was really a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I love the open mic idea that you've got with this and with what you do with open mics. I don't know that enough people realize how important open mics are to the community, to musicians and artists being able to have a voice and a platform and develop. And it's incredible and so important. I deeply appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's important for us all to be able to nurture both the community and our music. And open mics, to me, are really a safe place to do that. And I've been at this 30 years now, and I still need opportunities to just work on my craft a little bit, and that's really a good, safe place to do so. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Hey, this is Zach.
The next stop is Memphis. There came a warning from the crew. And patiently she swayed with a suitcase in her hand, and slow in the tempo at St. Paul and Main. She exits at Central Station. She don't care about Graceland, she's here for Lorraine. And her silhouette in blue. Well, everybody is on board, and the conductor, he shuts the door. With a flam, a tap, and slowly back up to speed, the coaches roll. And like a street corner dancer up high on his toes, just a moment to rest between shows. 'Cause the crowd moves along when you're in between songs. And her silhouette in blue. On the city of New Orleans, the dining car is closed. Just for the folks who ride, well, up in coach they won't need tonight. And it's been raining since Jackson, I dreamed a refrain, a song of abandoned campsites. And this juke joint is silent, my Stella won't keep its tune. The silhouette in blue. But since we left Louisiana, there have been no more parades. When I hear the engine roar, sounds like Buddy Bolton's horn. And now we're almost through Homewood. There are no delays, no trouble reported this morning. Our arrival's on time on track number 9. Silhouette in blue.
Hey, that's Charlie's Open Mic. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Zach for joining us on the show today. We'll see you next week. Please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell if you can. It'll help us grow. And we'll see you next week.